So, in 1934, the Boston-Worcester Railroad was constructed in downtown Framingham. So that's 1834. It was proposed to be built parallel to the Boston-Worcester Turnpike, which was built in 1809. But it was opposed by the Turnpike Company and the residents of Framingham Center. So the decision to put the railroad here through downtown Framingham created an opportunity for economic growth in these years. And they've really seen, since the trains came in the 1830s to downtown Framingham, how it's really evolved with the manufacturing center and the commercial business district and the residences, really bringing to life that urban mixed-use environment. So the traffic on the Boston and Albany Railroad lines, they would hit various branch lines. So that one train line, the Boston and Albany train line, it stopped after World War I. And in 1925, our city, because we had cars, they were starting to get frustrated by the train tracks and the cars couldn't go through sometimes because they had to stop for the train. So almost 100 years ago, Framingham Town Meeting, they made a committee, the Joint Committee on the Abolition of Grade Crossings. Obviously that has not come to fruition yet. We still have the grade crossings here that we're going to pass through. So it's very important for our economy that local goods can move back and forth, and we also need people to move back and forth. And one of the reasons why downtown Framingham is still such a successful place is that we're really the hub between Boston and Worcester, and there's a lot of commotion back and forth. And how these trains work with the MBTA cuts that are being proposed after COVID, that's something that we're going to wait on to see. So that'll be very interesting to find out. So the train depot, like I said, it was created by architect H.H. Richardson, and it was started to really be utilized in 1883 by the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority. And he built it in his Richardson Romanesque style. This was the last train station really to be built, and it was the costliest. This station costed over $62,000 to build of the 9 stations that H.H. Richardson designed for the Boston commuter rail system. In 1975, this building was put on the register for the of historic places. And the new Framingham station here, it's among the busiest on the MBTA station. So prior to COVID, there were 1,300 people every day that were coming on, boarding and debarking this train station, which makes it a huge draw with transit-oriented development that we have downtown. If you don't know what transit-oriented development means, it's basically building up the land around the train station to incite people and compel them to use public transportation rather than going in these privately owned vehicles, which you see today. So people get on the train or the buses, and how the bus system support train riders, specifically how the bus system can do that last mile of transit where you need to get from the train to your home. It's very, very interesting, and you'll see this area has really started to build up in the last 3 years, specifically to support transit-oriented development. And we're going to go by one example, which is the Alta Union House, fairly soon. Also, as you can see, there's a mural right here that was created by Soren Bika in 2016. And he finished that, the end of 2016. That was funded through Downtown Framingham Inc. when it was formerly the Renaissance Organization. And you'll see just to the left of it there, the Framingham Intermodal, which is operated by the the Metro West Regional Transit Authority. So the Metro West Regional Transit Authority, they have a great relationship with the MBTA and working together to get people from the bus to the trains and to their homes and back. Okay. All right, so if you follow me, we're going to cross right here. And a lot of people are curious. This is where the Downtown Creamery is going to be located. It's kind of papered up. If you see paper on windows, it's usually that means somebody's building a new business, which should be an exciting thing. So just keep that in mind. But the Downtown Creamery is going to be at 400 Concord, and then a new business just opened at 402 is Downtown Creamery, 400 is Energy and Fit Nutrition, which just opened as well. And it is very strange to kind of be downtown and to see these parking lots here to be very, very empty. They used to be super full back in the day, you know, earlier this year. And you can also see way down there a train coming through. That's a CSX freight train that crosses Waverly Street, and it's moving through. That one doesn't cross very often, but that train that's moving, it actually crosses further down on Hollis Street, which some people are accustomed to as well. So this is Alliance Jiu-Jitsu, and it's also odd to see them not full of little kids rolling around on the mats in there. And they've been there also about 2 years, and they've done a really good job of bringing students in and providing physical activity. They've been doing a good job of not gathering during this time of year as well, just to keep everyone safe. And this is a new project that we just did to put lights on the trees. I'm actually going to turn this one on if I can find the button. Oh, here it is. So it looks really cool, and different community members have sponsored the lights on these trees. So we just got these lights up on Sunday, and I'm going to be putting tags on them to say who sponsored these trees. Courtney Frayne, I sponsored this exact tree, so I'm going to be putting myself on here. But these lights are going to be up all year just to remind people to shop local. So we're excited about that. Here, this is good. So the block that I'm at now, it's called Clark's Corner. It's named after Captain J.J. Clark, and there was a tavern here actually in this location to my left, and this was converted. So the Eames family lived here, very famous in Framingham. They lived here in the 1770s, going way back, and then it became a tavern. When the Central Turnpike was laid down in 1830, this tavern was closed and became a hotel, and it was called the South Framingham Hotel. So then Deputy Sheriff Simon Twitchell of the South Framingham Hotel, he used to throw these huge winter sleighing parties. So the Sheriff Simon Twitchell, he created the Framingham Donut, which is super cool, and it'd be a great thing to bring back. I know I've talked to the Framingham History Center folks about bringing back the recipe for the South Framingham Donut. And the donut that was created here, it was also served at the train depot at Harmony Grove, which is over on Franklin Street, as well as this hotel. So this hotel was here from the beginning 1830s, right, when they put down Route 135. And then this hotel closed in 1894. And one of the reasons the hotel closed because it was kind of loud to stay here, because we just passed the train tracks, which are on the other side. So it was kind of hard to sleep here with the trains going by because it was so loud. Just south of this hotel, we just passed the Nelson Oaks grocery store, which used to be there. This is also a former home of the Salvation Army. This used to be Gilchrist Furniture Store back in the 60s. As many people remember, it was a high-end department store. And then right now there's a church that leases this space, but another, building could come in here. I would personally think this would be a great place to have a public market in this spot. There's a lot of great places to have a public market. This is one of them. Or you could have like a 2-story grocery store or something of that nature. So this space has lots and lots of potential. Across the street here, where Taqueria Mexico is, this used to be called the Knobscot Block, even though we're definitely not in the Knobscot part of Framingham. So the first Board of Trade president, Clifford Fogler, he used to have a dry goods store here, and you'll see their building is papered up. Again, paper means another business is coming in. So there's going to be a furniture store coming into this business here, but this was a very famous dry goods store that was in this location previously. And then above it, over here, you also had the First District Court of Middlesex County. So that's very interesting to know. And then over here to my right, you're going to see the Downtown Common. And that was bestowed by Lovell Eames in 1854. And it was to be known as the People's Common. And it was also a burial ground for the Nipmuc tribe. This common is 92 feet wide and it's 202 feet long, if you were curious about that. And then right here across the street, you're going to see the Alta Union House. Last I spoke with the property manager, it's about 90% leased, even through the pandemic. And if you go down Waverly Street and you walk, you can actually see that the apartments are definitely lit up. It looks like there's life going on, things are happening. So it's very interesting to learn about this apartment coming online. It's been here for about 18 months and how they've been doing in spite of the pandemic and getting those apartments, you know, as close to lease as possible. We're going to cross the street here.